Hello, thank you so much for sending in this video. I'm very excited to help you out today. I can tell that she is a hot, spooky little thing, and I really like that you're very quiet and you seem to give her a lot of confidence, so you're a very good match for her. As tricky as she is, just keep staying really patient with her and just trying to find new answers for her and things that you can think of that will keep her mind busy, and just always giving her confidence and always being positive. And also, sometimes being like a mama bear when you need to and saying, hey, that's a little bit too overreactive. You need to actually cut that out right now. So it's finding a balance of being, protective of her and giving her confidence, but also drawing the line and saying, hey, that was a bit too much. I can tell that she is a little bit of a stiffer type and has a chunkier neck. Sunday Boy was like that too. So a lot of lateral suppleness is what will help you get her body a little bit looser. So throwing a lot of 10-meter circles or 12-meter circles, 15-meter circles, I would go down the long side, and every 10 meters, like every time there would be a dressage letter, I would do a 10-meter circle and make sure she truly bends through her body, because sometimes when she turns, she just kind of lets her haunches swing out and she doesn't actually bend through the neck. So I would really get her to honestly bend through the neck more. I think for shows, if you want to be successful and competitive, the number one thing they're going to say is that she needs to be more on the bit. And I'm sure it's tricky with her, with a stiffer type horse, and hot and spooky, and they can get looky and strong. But that is the number one thing I would give you to work on, is to get her pull lower and her nose more on the vertical, and just I would keep her on circles sometimes until you really have some good roundness, and really close your legs gently on her sides. Make sure your inside leg is helping her to stay connected into your outside rein, and then use your inside rein to flex her to the right a little bit. Not a ton, but just think the bottom of her chin stretches down towards her right shoulder. And then your left rein is going to hold that throughness, but your right rein is going to help her honestly bend her body. And if she tries to swing her haunches out, keep your outside leg on to keep her haunches from bending to the outside. Almost think her body makes a little bit of a C there. So see, in that turn, she kind of crossed over with her right hind instead of honestly bending through the body and the neck. I would really, on the 10-meter circles, make her honestly bend through the body and almost think she's in a haunches. And I know she's young and she doesn't necessarily know a lot of movements, but just help her shape her body, help her get rounder. She's got to bend left and right better in order for her to be rounder in straightness. Make sure your heels are down, your elbows are in, your chest is out, shoulders back, stomach out, chin up, especially when you don't have a trainer or a coach watching you all the time. You have to really make sure you're reminding yourself to check your position all the time. I like that you do pulls. Make sure you keep contact while you go over the pulls, so it's not just a soft rein and she gets to put the nose up and out when you go over the pulls. So there, just keep a little bit steadier, and maybe put the pulls sometimes on more of a circle line, on a diagonal, so you can keep the bend and keep her in flexion while you're going over the pulls. I would do that for a while until you really have a handle on that roundness. But yeah, you can never do too many 20-meter circles. Just stick her on a circle for 5 rounds, and she's got to give in to the inside rein. The outside rein is what's going to keep the frame round and control the tempo, but the inside rein is what's going to help you flex her and get her supple and get her a little bit more through. And make sure you have your inside leg on gently while you're bending her, because otherwise she's just going to swing the haunches out and her body's still going to be straight even if you're on a circle. So you want her to think she kind of makes a little C around your inside leg, and really get that chin to stretch down to the inside shoulder. Some good exercises. See how when you do that circle, she just crosses the right hind under to the left side instead of just stepping straight under with the right hind? That's where she's not really willing to give in her body yet. She has to, when she goes on a circle, keep your outside leg on so she doesn't just swing the haunches out. So like here, you keep, that was better actually. I know it wasn't a circle, but like that. She's got to go in a circle how she did that right turn after the pole. And there, she's got to keep a little bit better contact there so her head doesn't go up every time she goes over the pole. She can stay on the bit while she goes over the poles. Keep contact, press a little with your leg, keep contact. You keep suppling over this pole. Good, and some good exercises, like I said, go down the long side and throw in 10-meter circles with honest bend. You can do 5 circles down your long side. It seems like you have a nice size arena. Good, hands low. When she gets a little bit spooky, try not to lean too far forward. Keep your core really tight, and you correct her from a good position. So when she gets good again, you're right back to where you started. Otherwise, it's easy to get off balance and throw your hands in the air when they start to run. Good, sitting, heels down, stretch up. Make sure your seat is just sitting in that saddle and sucked into that saddle. And same thing, she just needs to be rounder pretty much the whole ride, which I'm sure is tricky. I know it's easier said than done, but also I know you look like a very determined rider and a hard worker, and I know you want to get better, and that's what we're here for. She has a really cute canter. And the same thing, roundness in the canter. She's got to bend her body in the canter. So in the trot and the canter, you can throw in more circles, really, like even smaller circles in this. So make sure you're on a certain line, because then you can tell if she's leg yielding or not leg yielding, but falling. There you go, falling to the inside or the outside. You can really tell what her body's doing. So really find a good circle line and hit points on the rail, or set up your poles so it's a good 15-20 meter circle, and keep her on that circle while you're making her round, and keep her body on that line. In the trot, try some, if she knows leg yields, I would definitely do some leg yields with her. There, she starts to get a little bit rounder and drop the pole. She's got to be like this more through the whole entire ride. I would throw in some leg yields with her to get her to honestly cross sideways and get her body supple. And then you can do leg yield to a circle, back to a leg yield, to straightness. Just really keep finding lines that help you be able to ride her forward into the contact, but also into roundness. Because we don't just want to use our reins to get her round, we have to use our legs too. But I know the hot ones are hard to put your legs on, so make sure she allows you to put your leg on, because I love when Charlie Desjardins says the hot ones have to let you put your leg on, and the lazy ones have to let you take your leg off. So it doesn't mean you're kicking her hard to make her even hotter, but she has to accept your aids. Otherwise, you won't be able to move up the levels because you have to give them so many aids with your legs. A lot of trot canter transitions for her, a lot of trot walk transitions for her in roundness. I think you go a little bit stretchier with her before the canter transition to get that transition rounder, get that score up more. Not stretchy because you let go of the reins, but really stretching over the top line. Think her nose just really goes lower, her pull goes lower, and you keep contact and flexion into the canter. And that's really going to give you a better score in those transitions. But yeah, the number one thing for her, I'd say, is roundness and rideability. Keep giving her confidence in the spookiness. Sometimes if they're spooking at something, I'll start far away from it and circle and make a bigger circle and make a bigger circle towards the thing they're scared of. And I kind of leg yield them towards it just to give them confidence and work them towards it over and over. I don't ever pressure them in the scary spot, but I help guide them towards it and just give them a lot of confidence when they are in the scarier spot. So you're doing a really good job. That's a little bit rounder there. I like that much better. Good, and just make sure your reins don't flop. You keep a good contact on both sides of the mouth. And I know she's tricky, but I can tell you're a really hard worker, and I can't wait to hear and see the results from her in the future. Message me on Instagram, any questions, anytime. I'd love to hear from you, and hopefully this helps. Good luck, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon.